All right, again, exciting afternoon. Thanks so much to Microsoft for sharing their technology, and to the ICANN and ICANN Kids for just thinking outside of the box for kids who are in the hospital. They really had some cool ideas, and I could see where patients at our hospitals would love to do some of those things. As we said, we got one special announcement from Leanne. As you know, we're looking as how we can partner better with ICANN and have them be that patient-parent experience to innovation. And so we, as promised, had another special announcement. We have been working with different teams, and as you know, there are projects that have come out of iSPI over the years, and we are currently working on one which we hope continues to move forward. As you can see, really one of the biggest problems for us in pediatrics are rare diseases, and as we know, cancer is a very important part of that rare disease category. And so in thinking with the people that we have already had around our iSPI table, and again, making us network outside and network with other networks, over the last several months, we've had some really engaging conversations. As many of you know, Spiro Moses, who is from CHOC, also has a company called Systems Oncology. They do some pretty remarkable things in terms of using AI to help find targets. And we have partnered and are talking with new friends from Adam. And Stacy Thompson is here. Why don't you come on up? She's the the Chief Operating Officer and co-lead of Adam. And they are also doing some really remarkable things. And so we just wanted to kind of share with you and have you help us brainstorm, see if there are others who are interested in thinking about this problem with us. So, Stacy?
iSPI for inviting me here today, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about Adam and about some of the conversations that we're starting to have about integrating capabilities to really advance, accelerate, and transform drug discovery. Current drug discovery is long, it's costly, it's high failure too. I've been in the pharmaceutical industry working in R&D for the last 12 years, and know this long iterative process where you've got to understand the disease biology, and then there becomes, I work in drug discovery, so typically we screen millions of compounds through high throughput screening that's been heavily automated but is still incredibly inefficient. We then try and optimize multiple parameters through an iterative design, make, test cycle, and then comes lengthy in vitro and in vivo experiments, synthesis bottlenecks, and this is all just the middle part of bringing a drug to an actual patient at the end here. All of this, these stages in the box here take on average for an adult indication 6 years to develop. That still results in poor translation. On average, about 12% make it past clinical trials, and it's a third the cost of the total medicine development. For pediatric patients, we know that this is even a longer process that has even more significant challenges. In addition, before even that drug discovery timeframe here, there's an understanding of disease biology that is so much more challenging, especially for a rare disease like pediatric oncology. Clinical trials have even more challenging aspects as well. And the regulatory aspects can be complicated despite, I guess, significant innovation in the regulatory space over the last 20 years. There's still been very few new pediatric approvals for oncology. Is there a better way? So one of the questions that we're coming together to try and talk about is there an opportunity to use machine learning from shared data and moving the patient from something that happens at the end of this process to something that kicks off this process? We're talking about precision medicine. We're talking about starting with a patient. We're talking about patient data that can get mapped, learning from genomics, learning from longitudinal data, learning from lab tests, being able to understand disease biology early on, and then using computers to do that multi-parameter optimization that happens in the beginning, and eventually getting that medicine back to the patient. So the goal of ATOM is to really transform this drug discovery process and to build a platform that can accelerate drug discovery and development of more effective therapies. We are doing that by integrating high-performance computing, diverse biological data, and human-relevant experiment in order to get from an identified target to a patient in rapid time. Our current members are UCSF, the Department of Energy's Lawrence Livermore National Lab, GlaxoSmithKline, and the National Cancer Institute's Frederick National Lab for Cancer Research. And we are an open public-private partnership that is looking for new members. So the ATOM workflow is, as I said, something that's patient-centric. It's going to start with patient-specific data that can come into a computationally driven platform where in silico we might be able to design and simulate a medicine and go around that gray loop millions of times before our active learning process tells us that we need to make a molecule and test a molecule. The point of ATOM is to build a platform that we hope will be, that we aim to make open source and available to researchers everywhere to use. So the software, the models, and the data that we generate will all be made open. And the goal as well will then be to use this platform for drug discovery and generation of therapeutic candidates to treat those patients. We aim to do this through integration. So while we are building a platform, we're also looking for partners that can come add components to the platform. So I'll talk you through this slide quickly because it gets a little technical, but we've built a property prediction pipeline of different machine learning models based off of drug discovery data. We have about data from 2 million failed compounds that GSK has given us to start, and we're rapidly integrating vast amounts of public data as well. We're looking at other partners to come and share data with us in addition. We're building multi-level models of efficacy, safety, PK, and developability, and what we're doing with those is putting them into that gray multi-parameter optimization loop, where we can start with a compound, we can score it against design criteria. I've swapped out our little patient here to a pediatric patient. So we can, instead of using pharmacokinetic models of a 70-kilogram male, which is the industry standard, dial it back to a 30-kilo child. We can use generative molecular design to propose new molecules that can better optimize for all of the design criteria that we set. Active learning then tells us when we need more data to be more accurate in our predictions, and we can either simulate that data in silico, or we can generate that data through different types of experiments. One of the surgical innovation talks earlier today talked about organoid models, and we are working here with complex in vitro models, organs on a chip, that can even be derived from that patient to spit back patient-specific data into this loop. So generative design is the central component of this, and it's not just a black box. It is technology that exists. The images on the right may look like celebrities, but they are actually computer-generated images. There's a generative computational model that has been trained on a database of images of celebrities, and it proposes new celebrity-like images. The one on the left shows how they've taken celebrity images and been able to make the celebrity smile or not smile, or even add sunglasses. So if we can do this type of generative design on celebrity faces, why not on molecules? And that's exactly what we're doing now in ATOM. So a quick overview here of a case study on aurora kinase. Let me skip through this quickly just to say that we had some assay data from aurora kinase B and A. We've got indicators as well of liver toxicity and cardiotoxicity, solubility and clearance, and have put these all into our design criteria and run through these machine learning models. We can also scale this. So the goal is to have hundreds of different models in here as well. The molecular optimizer proposes new molecules that then go back into this. We can do, in a 24-hour period, 600,000 molecules that get generated and scored against this. And what that shows is the blue dots here were the starting points that we trained our generative model on. The green dots are the new ones that the model proposed. So these are ones that have incredibly high potency for aurora kinase B, and we chose for it to be selective over A. And these are molecules now that we are making and testing to prove and validate this. So, how is all of this going to accelerate drug discovery? Right now, we've got a plan to get us to 2021. In that period, we think we can get from a hit molecule to a candidate molecule in under a year. How does that fit into this bigger problem of drug discovery and starting with a patient? So right now, what I've been talking about in that pilot project and some of the work we're doing on our platform is just going to make impacts here in this lead optimization phase and doing that multi-parameter optimization. But we're talking with iSPI and Systems Oncology about a type of collaboration that we're calling FORCE, Federation of Oncology Research for Children Everywhere. And this is something that ATOM is hoping can be our next pilot project, where with additional partners, we can expand our capabilities to lead discovery and preclinical testing and IND filing. You can see that we've replaced an animal model here with hopefully a human organoid or a human on a chip model. We're talking with Spiro's Systems Oncology group. They've got a great hypergraph capability here that is able to rapidly find targets from vast amounts of data. And we're talking to iSPI here because you're the ones that are closest to the patients and the patient data, and the power of mapping that data and learning from that data is going to be immense. So we're also looking for, as we do embark on these pilot projects, clinicians, people to help fund some of this work, and commercialization partners. And since the goal of this is to bring the medicines back to patients, I know there's a lot of people in the audience today that are from advocacy and patient connections. So please keep us in mind as our conversations about FORCE evolve. And thank you for your time today. Feel free to contact me here if you've got any if you want any information about ATOM and how you can partner with us, or about FORCE and the new collaboration.
Thank you, Stacy. We're really excited. And we thank Stacy for coming. She had a kindergartner who started school yesterday and had a great day. So Stacy felt she could come join us today.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks again.
All right.
All right. We're at the end, so thank you. Thank you to all of our partners. You just heard about ATOM. We heard ICANN before then. We heard our surgeons in IPEG. We're so excited. I want to just take some time to thank everybody, especially Mijanu, the AV team, Andrew and his group, all of the volunteers that the students that helped out. We couldn't have put this on without them. I want to thank the officers, Tiffany, Anthony. Just thank you so much. I'm so excited. We're going to talk about some exciting things coming up, but we're going to get you out of here. So, as a reminder, we are planning a big meeting in Phoenix in May of 2021, a joint meeting with APSA and IPEG. Very excited. One of the reasons that we teed up the surgical innovation, so you put that on your calendars now. And then I would love Alberto to come up and talk about shaping the future of pediatrics and invite you all to come.
My honor to be here for the closure. Thank you. Thank you so much. You were fantastic. And as always, it has been such a nice experience. All friends and all very warmly passionate about technology and innovation. That's exactly what we need. Just a few words about what's happening right now. Pediatrics 2040 does not stop here, actually. And we will have another conference that will be in Rome, near the Spanish Steps, good location. It will be from the 2nd of October to the 4th of October. Just a few words about what is in this conference, because it's exactly in the same spirit and in the same line of Pediatrics 2040. We will start with a manifesto. We will launch a set of rules and principles that we want people to sign for fostering innovation. And that will be a session in which we will discuss how to apply all these principles. You may know that many of these words are maybe obvious, maybe simple, but we miss very many times what is ethics, what is openness, what is communication, and how to reach out at the global scale innovation. We generally think to what's happening in our setting, and we are not thinking wide. And that's one of the things that we'll do. We will have a lot of different topics in our sessions. We will have one about the ecosystems for innovation, how to have platforms to foster innovations. We will have a session about innovation in clinical pediatrics with several nice speakers. We will have another session about system innovation, what may happen at the system of a health system of a country or a region or things at this scale. We will have, obviously, artificial intelligence, which may not be missed. We will have a session about how the hospital of the future will look like, which is between architecture and digital solutions. Obviously, we will have patients all the times. They will be presenting. They will be presenting their ideas and potential innovations driven by them. Finally, we will have a session about digital therapeutics and digital communication, which is also a couple of hot topics. And then we will have a number of friends with us. One is Sherry. Another one is Dawn. But we will have also Begonia. Begonia is from Barcelona. She is the ICANN woman. And together with Dr. West, actually, we will have a session about ICANN and what's going on this area. We'll have surgeons like Shaf Keshavi. Shaf is from Toronto, and he performs lung transplantations. We'll have Todd. You've heard a great lecture from Todd today. We'll have also Tony Young. You've seen the same picture from Daniel Kraft this morning. Tony is from NHS, and he's leading the digital revolution in NHS. We cannot miss Anthony, as always. Thank you, Anthony. And we'll have Tim. Also, Tim has been here today. We'll have Narendra Kini, another old friend. He will be presenting about the hospital of the future. We'll have John Brownstein from Boston Children's Hospital. We'll have also a nice story from Pekka Ladenne. He's from Helsinki, and they built a beautiful hospital with a crowdfunding campaign. This is amazing. But after that, we will have also a couple of things. We're still waiting for receiving abstracts. So if you're interested, please remember that the deadline is the end of the month. And we will be also having a pitch for startups. The topics will be pain and anxiety relief in children in the hospital. So if startups are interested in that, they're mostly welcome. And the winner will receive a contract with Bambino Gesù Hospital for 3 months for producing a prototype. Remember that a couple of things. The venue is this time near the Spanish Step. Rome in October is wonderful, and there's one of the other things that we tried to make was trying to keep the registration fees very low. Students can afford very easily the registration for this conference. And remember also that there are many flights from low-cost companies that are really, really affordable. I'm looking forward to seeing you in Rome in a few weeks and continue discussing about innovation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Alberto. The other thing that you get to hang out with Alberto, and he's pretty fun. So that's the other positive. Well, once again, thank you so much. We will be sending out a survey after. We'd love to get your feedback, your likes, your please considers. But thank you once again. As a reminder for our member hospitals and our sponsors, we do have a dinner tonight at 6:30. If you want to join and you're not a member, please sign up to be a member right now, and you can show up. But we encourage you to become a member of iSPI. So thank you.